First of all, I'm deeply disappointed by the weather and its impact on PVDFest. Obviously, none of us can control the weather. We lost about an hour and a half of programming, and there was impact to all the vendors and the food trucks on Saturday, and then Sunday we had to cancel entirely. There were multiple lightning strikes within the city of Providence itself. It simply was not safe to be out on the festival footprint on Sunday in particular. The evacuation sites were very close. The evacuation sites included the garage on Dyer Street, which is at the edge of the park. It's as close as it could have gotten, and the CIC building right across Dyer Street, and Plant City and other sites on the South Water Street side of the footprint. And so I feel good about the planning that went into finding those evacuation sites, and we use them. I am really empathetic to the damage done to the businesses, and we're working to see what resources might be available. As the Commerce Secretary and the SBA Administrator talked about, we are similarly in an information gathering mode right now to see how we might be able to either make resources available, or if it becomes a designated event, that there may be reimbursement available from the federal government or otherwise. But right now we're talking to the vendors to try to assess the scope of the damage, to try to see what resources might be available to them. But it's very disappointing to me. I know these are all small businesses, small artisans, and we were so excited to have them a part of the festival, and to have a total washout on Sunday was disappointing for them, all the artists who were prepared to perform, the parade that had just started to muster when the lightning struck. And it was a disappointing day for me. Saturday was, I think, still a great festival, but Sunday was deeply disappointing.
From a scheduling standpoint, Mayor, you had said in the news conference preceding PVDFest that you wanted to move it into what you call the shoulder season.
Yes.
But we've heard a lot of deep dissatisfaction among people who competed with a lot of other festivals that were going on, not in the city but elsewhere, and may have detracted from the impact that it might have had it been at a different time.
Yeah, I think PVDFest, at least our hope is that PVDFest is different than the Greek festival or other festivals like that. The decision to move the date, as I've said many times, was made in conjunction and collaboration with the hospitality industry, and this is no disrespect to people who attend the Greek festival or otherwise. People are generally not booking hotel rooms for festivals like that, and so we do understand that there are other events around the state this weekend, but our decision to try to maximize economic impact was around a festival of a different kind, one in which is a destination regionally.
Were people booking hotel rooms for people?
We're still, yes, we know they were. I was speaking to the general manager of the Aloft, who said that he was sold out for the weekend. But as part of our debrief on the festival, which will take weeks, we'll be trying to quantify the full economic impact.
Do you think it'll continue in the future?
The festival itself will continue in the future, and we're going to continue to grow. The festival itself has gone through many iterations, and none of the changes this year were permanent. And we continue to learn from our successes and things that did not work out as well as we'd hoped that they would, and we will evolve. And so next year I imagine there will be other changes as well, and we'll continue to refine to have a great destination arts event for the city of Providence to cement our position as the creative capital of New England.
Mayor, do you have attendance estimates for?
The mayor said that.
I'll get to you.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Amy. Yeah.
The food vendors had said that it wasn't just the rain, but it was the pedestrian bridge that was sort of a gulf between the entertainment and the food that also cut back on their revenues. A couple businesses said they made less than 50% of what they made the previous year. What's your response to that?
So we're talking to the food trucks to see what worked and what didn't work. Again, the food trucks were quite busy on Saturday. I was there. I was a customer, two food trucks on Saturday, and spoke to the vendors that I was buying from, and they said that they had had a steady stream of business all day, and that they were very satisfied. Obviously, when they had probably no or almost no sales on Sunday, it's hard to compare apples to apples from previous festivals to this festival when one day was entirely canceled. And so the food truck village, the way it was set up, I think worked really well for a lot of families. There were picnic tables in the middle. You had all of your options in one place. And the walk to the pedestrian bridge was maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes if you walk slowly. This was not a far distance to travel. That said, we're very interested in their continued feedback. We work closely with them throughout the year on multiple festivals, and we want them to succeed and thrive. And so we're going to be taking feedback from the artists, from the food trucks, from the craft vendors, to hear what worked and what didn't work, understanding that we can't control for the weather, but the things that we can control for to make adjustments going forward.
I can
Please.
take a few more questions.
I understand that there was a missed day and the weather issues that you dealt with, and you're still debriefing. But do you have attendance estimates from PVDFest by any chance?
We know it was tens of thousands. We don't have a better estimate than that. We will soon. We review drone footage and make attendance estimates on crowd size based upon aerial photos, which is what has been the process in the past, and we'll be doing that again this year. But again, Saturday, in addition to being disrupted by 90 minutes, was also quite warm, and my personal experience, having spent most of the day there on Saturday, is that the stages that had shade were packed, and the stages that were totally exposed in the sun sort of depended on when the programming was take place, and people would come out when the performance start, and then as soon as the performance was over, people would go find shade again. It was quite warm, but it was tens of thousands, and we'll have a better estimate in the weeks to come.